Hello, YouTube users. This is Gamer, and I'm giving an update on Resident Evil 6. Now, IGN had an interview with the producers of the game, so there's a lot of things that are confirmed as opposed to what we originally believed. Like, the game is not set in 2008 or 2009, it is 2013. So someone actually mistranslated the part where it says 10 years after the Raccoon City incident because it should say 15 years or 10 years after the trials, which were in 2003. Capcom also confirms that the Grams are not in the game at all. The president that we see in the trailer, including in the flashbacks, is actually Adam Benford, the agent that hired Leon right after Resident Evil 2. So, Ashley is not in the game because I doubt that she'll be in the game if her father isn't. Um, so the girl we see in the trailer is actually Sherry. Um, and she's 27 now, so she's an adult and she can do things herself. Her partner, he hasn't been named, but I think we're all sure that it is Hunk, aka Alex Wesker, because he's not as fast as Wesker, but just as strong and moves just like him, based on what we see in the trailer. And I'm pretty sure that his voice is Troy Baker, who does Snow on Final Fantasy 13, and Vincent on Catherine. Those are the two games that come to mind when I hear his names right now. So yeah. Oh, and James on the Silent Hill 2 HD remaster. Um, IGM seems confident that Ada's in the game, so we'll have to wait and see about her. But I think we're pretty sure that she is because anytime Leon's in the game, she shows up too. So we can't exclude Ada. Mm. Chris, while he's gonna have action in his scenario, he's also going to be suffering from a psychological terror that took place 6 months before the events of the game. So he'll be seeing hallucinations that will basically show us what he went through while going through this mission. Okay, other characters. Helena, Leon's partner, was just transferring to the Secret Service when things started and admits to Leon that she is the person responsible for the outbreak in Tall Oaks. So that we know how that outbreak happened at least. And if you played or watched the story of the Revelations, you know who Chris is talking about because he refers to a female villain this time, and that villain is Jessica Sherwood, who was his partner in Revelations. Also, the way that these scenarios are arranged, they take one element from each category. Capcom has already categorized this as dramatic horror, so Leon and Helena will have horror, Chris will have action, and Sherry and Hunk will have survival. Also, all the scenarios intertwine, so that means you could be playing as Leon for one chapter, but the next chapter you might play as Chris, and the next chapter as Hunk and Sherry. So, don't expect to go through one complete scenario, expect it to change characters somewhere in between each time. Um, what else have they confirmed? Oh yes, it does take place in 3 different locations. The first place, U.S., Washington D.C., in a fictional town called Tall Oaks. Um, the second place, in China, in a fictional city called Langjing, which I'm pretty sure will be somewhere in Hong Kong or something. because the producers actually went to China to get an authentic Chinese experience into the game. So a lot of the stuff in the game are real Chinese things, just a fictional name for the town. And Sherry and Hunk will be in Eastern Europe. So it is a global outbreak. And yeah, this game is very different from what we're used to, what we grew up and loved about the old games. But you have to remember that it's years later, and yeah, maybe these characters won't expect it once or twice, but after that, they're gonna be ready. They're going to have you know, tanks, military style squads, and weapons to make sure that they can combat everything. So, yeah, yes, the first parts where you had to really conserve, but I'm pretty sure you'll have to conserve and at the same time be ready to move and fast. Whereas before they didn't really expect it, so it was a shock to them. But by now they're more experienced, so you gotta expect that they'll know what's going on and they'll be able to handle it. Anything else I can say? About Sherry is that I was sure it was her the whole time because she was always much, much more mature than Ashley. I mean, Ashley complained a lot in 4, and Sherry, she was 12 dealing with the outbreak of Raccoon City. I mean, she did things that no normal 12-year-old kid would have to do at that age. Running, hiding from monsters. Maybe normal kids would have done that, but she knew where to go. She didn't know about the G virus, but she did know that, okay, my mother works at the chemical plant. She told me to go to the police station. Maybe I'll meet up with her there. And when she gets on the train, she manages to break into the control room to stop the train. As if you watch the ending, you see that, and it doesn't matter who's telling her to press the switch, she does it. So that shows that yeah, she was gonna be back sometime soon. And well, it's been long enough, so now she's back 15 years later in the story. Um, Also, since her parents were the creators of the G virus, William and Annette Birkin, I'm pretty sure that now Sherry herself, knowing her family history, is a researcher slash scientist. And she looks just like her mother now that she's an adult at age 27. Yeah. So, if you put a picture of grown Sherry next to Annette, you can actually see the resemblance. It might be hard to believe, but yeah, the game has been around such a long time that now it's like, wow. I mean, Leon's 35 and Chris is 37, so that's why while they still have their hairstyles and all, they look somewhat different. You can say. I mean, Chris shaved his head for this one, so his hairstyle might not be spiky, but his face still looks the same. And the only characters that are an exception to aging would be Hunk and Jill because they were affected by viruses, which slowed down their aging, so they won't look older, but they are older. Okay. What other? Okay. So yeah, that's about as much info as I have as far as updates go. But I'm pretty sure that the chapters and all, this has all been confirmed. Other confirmations. Ashley's voice actress confirms that Capcom has not contacted her about Ashley's character, so there's no way Ashley could be in the game. Allison Court also confirmed that Capcom hasn't contacted her about Resident Evil 6, and Resident Evil 6 was in development for the past 3 years. I say it was because now it's in the debugging phase, but it was in development for all this time, and Allison Court was working on Operation Raccoon City, The Dark Side Chronicles, Mercenaries 3B, so yeah, we can pretty much say that Claire's not in this one. But there are more characters to be announced. We'll just have to wait and see who they are, because there are some people that have Resident Evil 6 on their list, but their characters' names aren't listed yet. So we have to listen out for that. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. And no problem, Alpha Omega Sin. Happy to give a shout out. And well, thanks again, people, for commenting on my last video. I didn't expect to get any views, but I got 66 views, and that was more than what I expected. But hope you get this update. Hope you comment and share your thoughts. I mean, we're all gamers here, obviously, so we all have opinions, and I wanted to share mine in video. Maybe you guys want to share yours in comments. Anyway, hopefully I make another video soon. Take care, and go out and play games later.